For more than a week now, I've followed this story with a heaviness that hasn't lifted. It began as a quiet concern and has grown into something that feels almost unbearable. As of Sunday evening, February 8th, 2026, here in Tucson, what started as a missing person report has stretched into 8 agonizing days of uncertainty. At the center of it all is Nancy Guthrie, an 84-year-old grandmother described as mentally sharp but physically fragile, who disappeared in the early hours following January 31st. She left without the life-sustaining medications she depended on daily. That single fact has weighed on everyone. There's been no verified communication directly from whoever may be responsible, and no confirmed proof she is safe. With each passing hour, the medical risks surrounding her condition grow more serious, and the community remains suspended in worry, more than a headline. Nancy Guthrie was never just a name scrolling across a news banner. She was the emotional anchor of a deeply connected family. After losing her husband unexpectedly to a heart attack years ago, she rebuilt her life with remarkable strength and raised 3 children largely on her own. Friends describe her as joyful and deeply faithful, someone quick to laugh and stubbornly independent despite mounting health challenges. She lived in a peaceful single-story ranch home in Tucson's Catalina foothills, an area known for quiet streets, desert sunsets, and towering saguaro cacti standing guard over wide-open views. It was the kind of neighborhood where neighbors waved and doors often stayed unlocked. That sense of safety shattered overnight. What once felt like a calm desert refuge suddenly became the focal point of a deeply troubling mystery. Health concerns that heighten urgency. Nancy relied on a walker to move around and manage chronic medical conditions, including heart disease that required a pacemaker. She lived carefully, keeping to strict medication schedules designed to stabilize her heart and manage ongoing pain. Doctors have emphasized that missing even a short period of these medications could lead to weakness, confusion, cardiac complications, or far worse. From the moment authorities realized she was gone, time became more than a measure of hours. It became the greatest threat. Every day without proper medical care adds another layer of concern. This isn't simply a search for a missing person. It is a race against a medical clock. For her family, that reality has made each sunrise both a gift and a reminder of what's at stake. The last normal evening. The timeline began with what appeared to be an entirely ordinary Saturday night on January 31st. Family members shared dinner with Nancy before dropping her back home between 9:30 and 9:45 p.m. She entered her house using her walker, and the garage door closed shortly before 10 p.m. According to official updates, there were no immediate signs of distress. Her phone showed no outgoing calls or texts afterward, and her pacemaker monitoring application transmitted normally for several hours. Then, sometime between approximately 1:45 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. on Sunday morning, the signal abruptly stopped. The pacemaker connection vanished. That narrow window of time quickly became the center of the investigation. What happened inside that quiet home during those hours remains the question everyone keeps returning to. The morning that changed everything, concern began Sunday morning when Nancy failed to appear at church, something friends say she rarely missed. Calls went unanswered. By noon, worried relatives entered her home and found it empty. Deputies responding to the 911 call quickly realized this was not a routine welfare check. Investigators documented signs of forced entry and discovered small amounts of blood inside the home and near the porch area. Within hours, the residence was declared a crime scene. Authorities publicly stated they believed Nancy had likely been taken against her will. The seriousness of that announcement sent a ripple through Tucson and beyond. What had started as a missing grandmother case now carried the weight of a possible abduction, and resources were mobilized quickly in response. A search across desert terrain. By Monday, large-scale search operations were underway across the rugged Catalina foothills terrain. Ground teams moved through desert brush, helicopters circled overhead, drones scanned open land, and volunteers joined law enforcement in canvassing neighborhoods. Doorbell footage was reviewed. Traffic cameras were analyzed. License plate reader data was examined. Despite extensive efforts, no clear suspect vehicle or escape route immediately emerged. Evidence inside the home strongly suggested Nancy had not left voluntarily. Meanwhile, medical urgency intensified. Health professionals publicly warned that serious decline could begin within 24 to 48 hours without proper medication and care. The search was not only about location, it was about time. Every mile covered represented hope, but also a reminder of how fragile the situation had become. Disturbing communications emerge. The case took a complicated turn when multiple media outlets reported receiving ransom communications claiming responsibility for Nancy's disappearance. The messages demanded millions of dollars in Bitcoin and included specific details about her clothing and aspects of the home that had not been publicly released. Authorities confirmed the communications were being analyzed, but did not immediately verify their authenticity. Whether genuine or the work of opportunists exploiting attention remained unclear. Even so, investigators treated every message seriously. Digital forensics teams and federal partners worked to trace origins through encrypted channels. For the family, the existence of those messages brought both anguish and a painful sliver of possibility. If someone was communicating, perhaps Nancy was still alive. But uncertainty continued to cloud every development. A family's public plea. Midweek, Nancy's children released an emotional public video appeal. Sitting close together, visibly exhausted yet composed, they thanked the community for its support and spoke directly to whoever might have information. They asked for proof that their mother was alive and expressed willingness to listen if contact was made through appropriate channels. The message spread quickly, igniting prayer gatherings and quiet vigils across Tucson. It transformed the case from a regional headline into a deeply personal story that resonated nationally. Their plea was not dramatic, it was human. It was the sound of adult children asking for their mother to come home. In that moment, viewers were reminded that behind every investigation are families navigating fear, hope, and heartbreak all at once. Negotiation and growing pressure. As the days passed, additional communications reportedly surfaced, with escalating financial demands and deadlines attached. The family later acknowledged receiving messages and publicly stated they were willing to do whatever was necessary for Nancy's safe return. That statement shifted the emotional landscape of the case. What began as a search operation began to resemble a potential hostage negotiation scenario. Law enforcement continued urging that all contact remain within official channels to protect both the investigation and Nancy's safety. Behind the scenes, behavioral analysts reviewed language patterns, cyber specialists traced digital pathways, and negotiation teams remained on standby. The family's focus was simple: buying time for an elderly woman whose health depended on immediate care. Every development carried both hope and risk. A city united in hope. Throughout February 8th, search operations continued without pause. Deputies, federal agents, canine units, drones, and volunteers expanded search zones miles beyond the residence, recognizing the possibility she could have been transported elsewhere. Hundreds of tips poured in daily, most inconclusive, but each carefully reviewed. Medical experts continued to warn that prolonged absence of medication, hydration, and stability increased uncertainty about her survival. Yet even amid fear, something else emerged. Tucson rallied. Neighbors brought food to search teams, churches held candlelight gatherings, strangers shared her photo across social media with a single message: bring her home. In moments like this, a city reveals its character. The investigation remains active, the outcome unknown, but the collective hope has not dimmed. Nancy Guthrie is not forgotten.